Let's do a professional scrolling text as you just seen. Black screen, and then we are putting the lines vertical and horizontal, so it's easier for me to place in the middle the text. Now let's add the text. Default, I'm gonna write subscribe in this case, so let's type subscribe. Perfect. Then you have to do it multiple times. You can just change your font, the preferable that you have, and then copy and paste as many times as you need or as you want the same wording. So I'm gonna do subscribe, and then I'm gonna add subscribe again for many times. Once I'm happy with the result, I'm gonna put the very first line in the center at the moment, and I'm gonna also scroll a bit. I want to make it a bit tighter, so on the character you can go and make it slightly tighter. I don't want to have a lot of space in between. Then I'm gonna put the first keyframe, scrolling fully down and going back and adding another keyframe. So I'm happy with that. Let's scroll down a bit the position and add the second keyframe in position. So first keyframe is the top and the last keyframe is the last part of the text. Perfect. Happy with that. Now we are going to show the variable speed animation. Clicking on the right, and then here we have the animation. So you can see we have the two keyframes, the top and the bottom. So let's start working from the top one. We click on right, and I'm gonna select ease in. So means that my scrolling is a bit slower when it starts, and I want also the scrolling to slow down a bit when it ends. So I'm gonna click on the right and press ease out. You can see it's slowing down a bit smoothly at the end. You can see the curve as well. Once we are done, we can just hide it again, and to make everything a bit more organized, I'm going to click on the right and create a compound clip. Next step, we are going to add a bit of blur. So I'm gonna type vertical blur. So when the scrolling happens, I want a bit of blur, so give a bit of a speed. So what's gonna happen here, we are going to put vertical blur. I'm gonna put the layer exactly on top, as you can see here, and you can also see the blur. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna select different keyframes, increase the blur, and slowing down again. So I'm going here to put 20 after the second text start. You can see the second line start, so 0 on the first one. Perfect. So I start at 0, scroll a bit, second line 20, then I go at the very end. Let's cut off the extra layer. Perfect. And then I'm gonna put 0 at the end. So the last and the first lines, they will be on 0. So I'm gonna here going back on the second one just before the last one, and I'm going to select 20. So if that makes sense, we start at 0, 20, 20, and then back to 0. So a bit of blur in the middle to give that speed idea. Let's organize everything again, and I'm gonna do another compound clip. What I want to do now is the best final bit. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna put the mask, I'm gonna click this film strip mask, and I'm gonna select as much close as possible on the text. So basically it's all masked. At the end I also add a bit of music to give a bit more of a vibe, and change the last text into a red, so it changes with the music to make it slightly a bit more professional. And here's the final result.